Welcome to Torah at Home. I'm Dr. Linda Bernstein. Some of you may know me as a former member of the Beth Sholom board. I'm also on the Ritual Committee. But I'm also here today as a Master's of Jewish Studies student at the Academy for Jewish Religion in California and a Cantorial Intern of the Cantors Assembly. Today we'll be talking about chapter 26 of Deuteronomy, Ki Tavo. It's a Parsha of commandments, blessings, and curses. And it helps us to prepare for the coming high holidays by giving us better understanding of our individual and collective roles as the people chosen by God and charged with the responsibilities of preserving the covenant. It begins with a series of directives on what the Israelites should do when they first arrive in the Promised Land. These instructions are aimed at the farmers, the typical Israelite, but have applicability to us even today. First and foremost, the Israelites are directed to bring some of the first fruits to the priests. V'lakachta mereshit kol peri ha'adama asher tavi ma'artzacha asher Adonai Elohecha noten lach. You shall take some of every first fruit of the soil which you harvest from the land that the Lord your God is giving you. They shall say to the priest, to show we recognize that our entering the land was part of the covenant promised between God and Abraham, Hagadati hayom l'Adonai Elohecha, ki vati el haaretz asher nishba Adonai lavotenu latet lanu. I acknowledge this day before the Lord your God that I have entered the land that the Lord swore to our fathers to assign us. Then, this new generation of Israelites is asked to remember how they got there. V'yotzienu Adonai mimitzrayim biyad hazaka uvizroa natuya uvamora gadol avotot uvamoftim. The Lord freed us from Egypt by a mighty hand, by an outstretched arm, an awesome power, and by signs and portents. V'yivienu el hamakom hazeh v'yiten lanu et ha'aretz hazot eretz zavad halav udavash. He brought us to this place and gave us this land flowing with milk and honey. What does the first act of fruit offerings and accompanying statements tell us as we approach entry into the new year? First, we have to thank God for our good fortune and count our blessings. Next, the Israelites have to meet their tithe obligation. When you have set aside in full the 10th part of your yield in the third year, the year of the tithe, and have given it to the Levite, the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, that they may eat their fill in your settlements. In other words, we have to share our bounty and blessings with those less fortunate. Finally, Moses and the elders charged the people with a writing task, saying, Shemor et kol hamitzvah asher anochi mitzaveh etchem hayom. Observe all the instruction that I enjoin you upon this day. V'haya bayom asher ta'avru et Yarden el haaretz asher Adonai Elohecha noten lach v'ha kemota lacha avanim gedolot v'sadata otam basid. As soon as you have crossed the Jordan into the land that the Lord your God is giving you, you shall set up large stones and coat them with plaster. V'chatavta alehen et kol divrei haTorah hazot, and inscribe upon them all the words of this teaching. This ceremony dramatizes Israel's obligation to live by God's teachings and not to take our blessings for granted. The act of putting the teachings in writing underlines the importance of the covenant and the need to follow the commandments. In other words, we ensure our future blessings by physically locking in the directives so that they are literally in stone. Then what follows is a series of predictions, promises, and consequences of following or not following God's commandments and keeping the covenant. These are blessings for compliance and curses for not following the laws. We're at the point in our year where we're contemplating the good and bad deeds we have done during the past year. We're thinking about our blessings as well as the moments of misfortune or curses we may have experienced. In a more global sense, it seems like our world has experienced a series of curses this year. Between the pandemic and its aftermath, fires, hurricanes, and floods, we have asked ourselves during this time, did we do anything to provoke God to set these curses upon us? Is God punishing the world for moral degradation, greed, environmental neglect, racial injustice, violence, wars, and a host of other societal sins? What can we as individuals do to help ensure our blessings going forward as we enter the new year? We say on Yom Kippur, immediately after the awe-inspiring Unatana Tokef prayer, Uteshuva, Utefila, Utzdaka, Ma'avirin et Roa Hagzera. With teshuva, repentance, self-critique, to resolve to act more in accord with one's principles. Tefillah, prayer. Moments of tefillah can bring us insight and affirm primary religious commitments. And tzedakah, all acts treating others with care and respect, and our gifts to the needy fulfill divine obligation. We can avert the evil decree or transform the harshness of our destiny. Let's look at the main admonition of the Parsha once again and the rewards for the faithful. Va'anoi ha'emircha hayom liyot lo la'am segula ka'asher diber la v'lishmor kol mitzvotav. And the Lord has affirmed this day that you are, as he promised you, his treasured people who shall observe all his commandments, and that he will set you in fame and renown and glory, high above all the nations that he has made, and that you shall be, as he promised, a holy people to the Lord our God. Vaydaber Moshe ha'kohanim halviim el kol Yisrael lemor, haskei ushma Yisrael hayom hazeh niyeta la'am l'Adonai Elohecha. Moses and the Levitical priests spoke to all Israel, saying, Silence, hear, O Israel, today you have become the people of the Lord your God. Heed the Lord your God and observe his commandments and his laws, which I enjoin you upon this day. Well, God has made a big promise, and a lofty one to be sure. And at the same time, God has placed a heavy obligation on this young nation. Yet the commentary says, the Israelites are not promised automatic special treatment. They must earn it. This is emphasized throughout the chapter by the repetition of the many blessings and curses. Uva'u alecha kol habrachot ha'ela v'hi siguha ki tishma b'kol Adonai Elohecha. All these blessings shall come upon you and take effect if you will but heed the word of the Lord your God. According to the commentary in Ha'amek Davar, take effect literally means overtake you. Sometimes God intends to bless us, but we're so busy running after success that the blessings cannot catch up to us. Instead of chasing after fulfillment, perhaps we need to slow down and let the good things of life catch up to us. Isn't that what the pandemic, which we originally perceived as a curse, has done for us? It allowed us to slow down, to spend more time with our children, less time commuting, and being able to virtually share simchas and other life events via Zoom with family and friends across the globe. To basically rethink our entire way of life and let the good things of life catch up to us. As we enter the Yamim Noraim and reflect on our own behavior of the last year and how we want to improve for the coming year, we wish for blessings for ourselves, for our family, and our community. And it is our duty to earn those blessings by following God's commandments with Gemilut Hasadim, acts of loving kindness, to recognize the blessings we have and to share them with those less fortunate. Let us all slow down enough to let God's blessings catch up to us and realize that there may be many hidden blessings, even in the curses. Shabbat Shalom. Let's get in the Shabbat spirit with a new version of Oseh Shalom. Please join with me. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 die. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen. Shabbat Shalom.